Hello, Jess Too Good here. Today we're taking a look at the LEGO Toy Story Constructive Buzz set from January 2010 with 205 pieces, one minifigure, and it retailed for $25 back then. This is not my original version, which I still have the box to. I actually lost a build for it, so I had to buy another version off eBay. Thought it was going to be the white box version. I'm kind of disappointed with the seller, but whatever, it's not a big deal. So let's open this bad boy up. Gosh, does this bring back memories, because I did get this for Christmas 2009. Same style and everything. So nostalgic for these sets. Let's pour out the pieces, which you can see a whole bunch inside there. And one of the most interesting bags of this opening is this bag of the Buzz head, which has a Technic connection at the bottom, and also this specific glass for his visor. Very interesting altogether. Here's the set all built up. Now let's take a look at the minifigure. So here is the little green man, and the design of this appeared in Constructive Zerg as well for the first wave, and then the Pizza Planet truck for Toy Story 3, as well as a poly bag. There was a different version in the Trash Compactor Escape. Also, there is the version from the Disney CMF Series 1, and the new Toy Story 4 sets have an updated version of this particular design, which is very minusculely different. It's not a big deal. So here is Buzz built up, and before I start taking a closer look at him, I wanted to point out that apparently there was a different version of the build of this. I don't actually know if it's different to this particular one I'm reviewing right now. I heard that it was like changed in production or the instructions were updated, and I looked at all the instructions on Brickset. I couldn't find a difference myself, so if you know anything about what I'm talking about, please put some more information in the comments. But either way, we'll start at the top of the figure, where he does have this very interesting and exclusive piece for the visor of the figure. This has 8 anti-studs at the back that attaches to this back build of the helmet, and then there's a separate piece that clips on just by putting it in that little slot right there. That allows for this visor to actually open up, which works just like how it does in the movies. I really like that. And also this headpiece, which we did show at the beginning, is a part that connects via a Technic pin, so you could actually rotate that around if you'd like, but it's not too easy since you really got to stick it inside the area where the helmet's at. Now there are some stickers right here, which are kind of a pain to light up correctly, but they are pretty small and whatnot. This one is not a sticker though, it's actually an exclusive 1x2 printed tile that I really like of the Star Command logo. Also, this laser part on this sloped brick is a print as well, which I really like. And the laser itself is actually this flick missile right here, so if you push, it will go flying, but not too hard, thankfully, like those push missiles that they use nowadays. And it does look a little bit weird having this section right here. Thankfully, you could easily remove it and just have a more organic look as if the laser isn't popping out. Also, each arm is connected via a Technic ball joint right at the shoulder, and then you have the hand connection right at the end ball joint. These little gray designs are a little bit jarring compared to the rest of the figure, and I wish they would have went with a white ball piece or whatnot, but I kind of understand that they probably didn't produce this 2x2 modified brick with the ball joint at the end in white at the time. Even though the arm builds are very simple and forced in this L shape, you can get a lot of nice poses. Of course, like we showed before, you could have that laser pose, you could have one where he looks very triumphant right there, one where he looks very motivated, almost punching the air. As for that right arm, there is another printed little brick right here, and the same basic build with this arm on the ball joint and the shoulder joint right there. The hip is built with Technic pins that allow for rotation, so you get full 360-degree rotation, which is really useful. There's socket joints at the top of the leg, so you could rotate it all around, pull it out, and do whatnot and get good poses out of there. Also, there's some rotation at the feet using those ball joints once again on the modified 2x2 bricks. And they're very simple builds in general for the legs, but they are pretty effective. I like how they use the lime and whatnot. And again, this isn't the most detailed build, but it represents the character very well for a $25 set. The final part of the build are the wings, which are usually hidden by the arms, but I really like how these are built. They use a 1x6 sticker for these parts right here. And they're built in a way that you could actually hide them just by pushing it down. Now in the movie, of course, they collapse into this part at the back, but they can't really do that on a cheap figure like this. So this is actually pretty sufficient because you don't really get a good view of those once they're hidden down on that little connection. So that's really nice. And they just execute that little play feature by having these 1x2 connected little hinge pieces. Also, comparing Buzz to the size of Constructive Zerg, the other LEGO Toy Story buildable figure, you can see they actually got a pretty good scale going on between the two, but we'll take a look at him another day. Now let's move on to the box and the final verdict. Well, we already took a look at the box of the set, but I love the design of this. It's super nostalgic. Might as well take a second look. The instructions have an ad for the rest of the Wave 1 sets, which we're almost done with. Let's see all these which we've reviewed. Just got to review Constructive. So overall, Constructabuzz is just as good as I remembered it. I like how simple it is for a $25 set, but they execute a buildable figure very well. In a way, the simplicity helps, where it doesn't feel like it's cutting any corners for the price that you pay. Also, the design of it has some nice printed pieces and some very rare purple pieces that I didn't really touch on. But for example, these wings part right here, and even this plate that's in the middle, right under his head, that's like a 4x4-ish plate. That only comes in this set in that purple color, so that's really nice to include. Now, let's see how this looks with the other Toy Story sets. Alright, so I was originally going to have this be the Toy Story 1 shelf, this one be the Toy Story 2 shelf, put Buzz with the Toy Story 1 stuff, but he doesn't actually fit up here. So I'm going to have to put him at the bottom and put the little green man there. So all we need to do is review Zurg, and then we'll be finished with the Toy Story 1 and 2 release sets. Though technically, I guess the Pizza Planet truck should be here, but it's labeled as a Toy Story 3 set. And we'll decide all that later. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.